How easy would it be for someone to scam you?
Everybody thinks, oh, I could never be scammed. I'm way too smart.
This couple did all their homework.
She told our agency that she wanted us to be the parents of her child. Our dream was finally going to happen.
And still had their dreams shattered. So how can you be sure you don't fall victim to a scam?
That's right here, right now. Well, welcome. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been ripped off? Well, my guests today say they were, and their hopes and dreams were shattered. Susan and Anthony say that's what happened to them. And after years of trying to have children, they decided their only option was to adopt. So they signed up with an adoption agency. Makes a lot of sense, right? So you sign up with this agency. What happens after that?
Well, we signed up with an agency, and after several months with the agency, we decided to sign on with an online service that posts our website. And after about a week of being on the website, Michelle.
So this is all online then, in other words?
Right. Birth mothers, potential birth mothers can search the internet for parents that are, couples that are hoping to become parents for adoption.
I really didn't even know that this kind of thing. I thought that you had to have state, federal, local, 50 people involved, 500 lawyers.
Well, you kind of do. You have to, before you're able to go online, you have to have a home study done, and you have background checks, you're fingerprinted.
You went through all that?
Yes. You have to do that before you can get online. They ask for copies that you are certified to adopt.
Okay, so you got checked out, and you think because you got checked out, everything you're doing on the internet is okay, basically. I mean, there has to be a bond of trust somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we know that, we know that there's people out there who would scam couples.
Right.
But when we met Michelle,
this is Michelle
expecting in November, and that she was looking for a couple to adopt her baby, and if we were interested to give her a call. So we were really excited when we got the email, and we spoke the following day for 2 hours. Immediately, I felt the bond.
You did? You
Yes.
felt she was legitimate? That she was pregnant? Did she tell you she was pregnant?
She told us she was pregnant.
So she goes through a process of almost interviewing you to see if this is if this is the match for where she wants her child.
Yes.
So you meet her in
shock. I couldn't believe that our dream was finally going to happen.
That you were going to get a baby. That you'd been chosen. In this process that you guys had been chosen. And you're going to get a baby girl.
Yes.
Going to get a baby girl. So, takes a little turn here, doesn't it? She starts asking for money.
After she decided to match with us, well, actually, in our initial conversation, she did tell me that she would need some financial assistance, and we agreed.
To me, that would seem normal, right?
It is normal because
it is normal that you support the birth mother, right?
You can,
to a certain extent.
Right. The state laws regulate how much you can give them, when you can give them.
So they can't ask for an exorbitant amount and say...
You can't buy them a car, you can't buy them a house.
Okay.
You can help with their living expenses.
Now I got it. Were you ever suspicious?
Actually, no. Right from the very beginning, we felt fairly confident that she was going to place with us. The trust grew slowly over time, and there were a lot of phone conversations. And we established, we thought we established a bond, and it all culminated when we went to Atlanta, Georgia. And we had a fantastic time, and we laughed, we went sightseeing.
With Michelle?
With Michelle.
The whole time?
And Jeff as well.
Oh, what, told you she placed the fourth child for financial reasons? Or?
Right. She placed the fourth
child.
child.
So now, I mean, even as skeptical as I am in the world of hunting down bad guys, I would have said, you met the husband, you met the wife, 3 kids.
Correct.
Seemed pretty kosher, right?
Yes.
We came back from Atlanta, Georgia, and we thought this was it. We actually went shopping. Babies R Us, I think it was.
Actually, Michelle and I registered together.
Oh boy. Wow. Do you think that you just were naive, or do you think that you just wanted a baby so bad that you just forgot to cross the T's and dot the
No, I
I's?
don't think so.
No.
Two attorneys met with her in an adoption agency, and no one, she was very good. She's a very good scam artist,
Pro.
definitely.
More than a pro, right?
Yes.
Okay. You told us how this affected your lives. Take a look at this.
We felt betrayed. We were extremely disappointed. If she really didn't want us to be the parents of her child, then she should have told us that.
We were told that something like this was possible, that something like this could happen.
She made us feel sad. I mean, we thought we were gonna have a baby, and we're experiencing that loss.
Well, it's unfortunate the way it worked out. I'm sure she was acting in her own self-interest. It was disappointing, of course.
We have toys, we have clothes, we have all the things for nursery. We just haven't started it yet, but we were planning on starting it in early September when the adoption fell through.
Hardest part's been not knowing what the future holds. It's not like we have a crystal ball we can look in and we can see that, 3-4 months, a year down the road that we're going to adopt.
She not only took money from us, but also emotionally drained us.
Again, if I think of all the people who don't deserve or didn't deserve to be parents, and you two really, absolutely, just looking at that nursery and all the things you did. You're brave to come here today because people need to know about this. That's what we're doing here today. That's what we're doing here today. And what happened to Susan Anthony is heartbreaking, but we've got even worse news. They weren't the only victims, and there's a lot more to this story. That's coming up next. Stay with us. The guests on today's show say they've been ripped off and their dreams were squashed. Michelle Pogendick and her husband Jeffrey have been charged with what they did to Susan and Anthony. Now they're in jail right now, waiting for trial, and we contacted their attorney, but they declined to comment. I wish they'd had something to say. Now Susan and Anthony live in New York, but since Pogendick lived in Florida, now, I got a little surprise from you. I know another lawyer in Florida. That's my home state. And he actually lives where I used to live, and his name is Jeffrey Kasky. Jeffrey, come on. I met this guy several years ago, and he's an outstanding member of the community, just like Jeannie. And tell him about your company. You're not just a lawyer, you have a little company.
That is correct. I don't know if you would call it a little company where...
Big company.
Well, not
massive,
necessarily.
international conglomerate.
There you go.
I'm only kidding.
I'm a lawyer with an adoption agency in Florida called One World Adoption Services, and we're a Florida-licensed nonprofit child placing agency.
Okay, so I dragged you all the way up here from Florida because you volunteered and got involved and asked and said you wanted to do something. So will you surprise and tell these people what you want to do?
Well, what I'd like to do is do everything I can within my power and within the law to help you in any way I can to adopt. And that would be at no charge to you. That would be, my services would be my pleasure. And that was, Mr. Walsh and the crew asked me to do that. The thing I want to tell you, though, is that due to a quirk in the New York law and a rule that was handed down by the Attorney General of the state of New York, as you probably know, a Florida licensed agency or any agency that's not licensed in the state of New York cannot actually do an adoption for you. So I can help you find someone who can do an adoption for you, kind of be in your corner and help you out, and do my best to make sure it gets done.
Thank you.
Good
Very
news.
good.
I'm proud of you. Thank you. Well, boy, I wish them the best. I know that they're going to make great parents, and they're going to make whatever child they get really happy and lucky.